Congressman Mark Meadows of North Carolina has put out the call to fire John Boehner, remove him as Speaker of the House of Representatives. We had a movement earlier this year to replace him. Meadows was on the right side of that issue. Many folks backed down. They didn't have the courage that Mark Meadows had. They didn't have the courage that 240 years ago, the man, the statue behind me represents, Captain James Jack, at the age of 23 had, whenever he rode the Mecklenburg County Declaration of Independence, May 20th, 1775, to Philadelphia. Think about his courage, and then think about what we're up against. It's not all that much, folks. Demand that your representatives get John Boehner to step down as Speaker of the House. Fire John Boehner on Twitter, hashtag Fire John Boehner. I'd also suggest hashtag Hire Mark Meadows. He's the one who's got the guts to stand up. He's not waiting for somebody else to do it. And those of you who don't know who Mark Meadows is, he's the one who led the charge, even before Ted Cruz, to defund Obamacare. He also took a resolution to the Republican National Committee in Boston to ask that all members in good standing with the Republican Party defund Obamacare. Mark Meadows is the guy for the job. Are you? Is your representative the guy for the job? Are you going to hold your representatives accountable? You know, back in 1775, while James Jack was riding his horse, John Adams wrote a letter to Abigail. In that letter, he looked into the future and he said, "Posterity, you will never know what it costs this present generation to secure your liberty. You better make good use of it, for if you do not, I will repent in heaven that I took half the pains I took to secure it." There are some out there that will again say this is not the right time, as they did earlier this year. This plan is not put together very well. I'm glad that it wasn't you down on Trade and Tryon in 1775. I'm glad it was James Jack, because he had the guts. You know, what do you think that John Adams feels now? Do you think that he is happy with what John Boehner is doing? Do you think he's happy with what we are doing, with what your representative is doing? Have some guts. Now's the time for action. There is no time for hesitation. John Boehner's got to go. It's the only way to save this republic. And as Ted Cruz has put the spotlight on Mitch McConnell, let Mark Meadows put the spotlight on John Boehner. Both of them need to be removed. Now is the time for action. Ask your senators, ask your congressmen to stand with Ted Cruz and Mark Meadows, as we did 2 years ago, to defund the Unaffordable Care Act. Take action now, or deal with the consequences later. I, for one, I'm going to try not to let John Adams down. This is Chuck Suter of ConstitutionalWar.org.